So let me just give you some of these lyrics. It's the set of the sails and not the gales that blow that takes you where you need to go. When life feels strange and all else fails, it's not the winds of change, it's the set of the sails. Great lyrics, Rike. Yeah. So, who sets the sails? If it's not about the winds and the weather and all the stormy clouds and all the stuff that shows up in our lives, who sets the sails? Well, you know, it's you. It's me. So that takes me to the power of decision. Because guess what happens to a boat if you're in it and you decide the sails aren't yours to tend to? What do you think happens to that boat? Do you ever see one of those boats? Do you ever see somebody get in a sailboat and think they know how to ride one and they don't? And all of a sudden it's going in circles until finally it just falls over because no one knows how to take charge, take hold, and actually make a decision and set the course. So the question I have for you this month is, are you setting the course for your life that you want to set? Or are you setting the course for your life that perhaps you think you can set? Or perhaps you think has been set for you, so why not? Do you know where it is you want to go? And are you doing what's necessary to set the sail and get where you want to get to? Of course, first you have to know where that is. So I picked decision this month because last month was clarity. Well, if you're all clear now, it's time to do something about it. Clarity means nothing unless you're actually willing to put it to action. I can be totally clear what I want to do and where I want to go. And if I'm not willing to go there and do what needs to be done, what good is the clarity? If anything, it's going to make me more frustrated. Oh my God, I know where I'm supposed to be and I just can't get out of bed. So, a CEO of a major corporation was asked, "What is the secret to your success?" 2 words, he said. And they are, the man asked, good decisions. He then asked, well, how do you make good decisions? And the CEO replied, 1 word. And that word would be, sir, experience. And how do you get experience, he was asked. 2 words, he said. And they are, sir, bad decisions. So the point is, everything in your life is usable. As you sit here today, how many of you can sit here today and actually say to yourself, I've made some bad decisions? Can anyone sit here and say, I have not made one bad decision in my entire life? Then clearly you don't understand the science. No, the truth is, we've all made what we call bad decisions, but those bad decisions, they're just the decision you made at the time with the information you had. And most people make decisions based on information out there. And we make our decisions, informed decisions, I might add. You know, I mean, people say, make sure your decision's an informed decision. Informed by who? Who's informing you? Your mother? No attack on mothers. Your father, your teachers, your boss, your friends. How many people have friends that are constantly helping them inform their decisions? Where do you really get your decisions from? How do you make an informed decision? Well, the truth is, the only way you can ever make an informed decision is if you know who you are and allow that to inform you. Just that. Nothing else. Sure, we take in whatever we hear. I have that thing on my wall. God is speaking no matter who's talking. And I take whatever I can get out of that. But my decisions are based on getting quiet and listening and seeing, what do I need to know here? So, everything in your life is based on some decision you've made. Do you know that? Apparently not. Everything, I looked out and you're like, what? Everything in your life is based on some decision you made. Now, any of you that are sitting here saying, well, wait, this showed up in my life and I did not decide to have that. Yeah, you did. On some level, you did. It can't show up in your life if you are not in rapport with it. It cannot show up in your life unless you are equal to it. It just can't. It's impossible. That's the way the law works. So every single thing that's happened in your life is based on some decision you made, either knowingly or unconsciously. How many of you think you make some unconscious decisions? You know what? We all do. Just raise your hand. Okay. An unconscious decision is a decision based on the belief system we have. We just don't know what those beliefs are. So we're making decisions based on certain things we're not even aware of. I found a decision recently. I got to own up to this. I was at a store, and I put on this shirt to buy, and it was this really beautiful fuchsia color. And in the gay world, that's purple. So it was this beautiful fuchsia with a little red in it. So, because I've said fuchsia, my son said to me, "Dad, fuchsia? What is fuchsia? Can't you just say purple?" It's like, "No, I'm gay, it's fuchsia." So I had this shirt, right? And I'm putting it on, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I can hear my father in my head saying, "Men don't wear purple." I am 59 years old, and I'm putting on this shirt, and here I am in gray today, because this is my dad's colors. And I'm standing there, and do you know what? I did not buy the shirt. There was something in me that kept saying, there is something off about this. You know what was off about that? I should go back and get that. I might. You know what's off? The thing that's off about that is that there are still some things inside of me helping me make decisions that have no bearing on my life whatsoever. In fact, Kevin's constantly saying to me, "Add some color to your palette." Because I do love black. I love wearing black. So do you have, and I won't even say do you have decisions inside of you you're making based on unconscious beliefs. Do you know that? Now the real thing is you just have to buy into today. You just have to understand today that everything in your life is based on some decision. Why is that important? Well, because if you understand and believe that everything in your life is based on some decision, you're now at choice to start making different decisions. Notice I didn't say better. Different decisions. How simple can that be? How many of you have any decisions you're thinking of right now that you have to make? Anybody have any decisions they're going to make? Anybody going to decide on what to eat for breakfast? Anybody going to decide whether or not to breathe? No, we just do that. We don't. Do you walk around going, "I should breathe now"? Yeah, I should probably breathe now too. Okay, yeah, I should blink. Wow. Yeah, okay. Let's make some saliva. Okay, good. No, because our bodies tend to just do that. Just like that, there are decisions being made for you that are just innate. And I'm saying it's time to be a little conscious of the decisions we're making. That's what this month is going to be all about. You being conscious of the decisions you're making every time you make one. And just ask yourself, why did I just make that decision? How did I make that? How did I just make that decision? And I'm not even asking you to say, is this the right decision or the wrong decision? Tony Robbins says, bless you. Tony Robbins says, using the power of decision allows you to get past any excuse to change any and every part of your life in an instant. How many of you still have excuses for why you can't do this or why you can't do that? How many, you're going to have to raise your hand, but I know that about you. How many people? And it's your birthday. How nice is that? So how many of you have decisions, how many of you have excuses going on for why you can't blah, blah, blah? Because here's the deal, folks. They're excuses. Aren't we to believe that we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in a spiritual universe governed by the spiritual law of cause and effect and the way we use it? Isn't that what we teach? For those of you who took the last test, that was the answer, and that is what we teach. That's consciousness. That's what we're here to do, to know who we are and make decisions based on that. Tony Robbins also said, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, and Jay already quoted this, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Do you know mostly why people why they won't make a decision? Because they're afraid that even if they make it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work out. Are you one of those people that needs all the answers in place before you're willing to make a decision? Are you one of those people? No one's moving their head at all. It's like, are you one of those people that needs to have the answers to be able to make a decision? It's not a bad thing. It's just, where are you looking for the answers? I have a lot of questions for you today. I don't have many answers. I just want you to do the questions. So, if once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen, then for you, it's kind of like the start button to your life. What if you had a button, and every time you had an idea, all you had to do, what if you knew, all you had to do was come over here and press this button, and everything would work out perfectly for what you want? What would you do? How often would you press that button? Like every time you think of something you want? It's like, oh my God, yes, boom, and there it is. Okay, that's what we have. The problem is, we build so many walls around this button, we can't get to it because we think these walls are real. Oh, fear. Oh, doubt. Oh, uncertainty. Oh, the past. This happened before. It's probably going to happen again. All that crap that we put around it, and we have the simple tool right here of just going, no, we have the simple tool right here to just go, and it is done. You have a start button in your brain. All you have to do is push it. Raymond Charles Barker wrote in his book, The Power of Decision, indecision is a decision to fail. Indecision is a decision to fail. So how many of you live in that world of indecision? And we actually are taught that it's okay because, you know what, if you don't know yet, just don't make the decision. Wait till you make the right decision. I know so many people who've spent their lives waiting to make the decision to live their lives. And so their life just keeps going. And then you hit a certain age and you're like, well, I can't make that decision now. Who succeeds at this age? Well, if you're sitting here and you're one of those people saying, who succeeds at this age? How can I succeed now? How can I have that amazing dream I've always wanted now? I'm here to tell you, just press the button. Because the universe knows how to answer that question. You just have to believe in it. You have to absolutely know who you are, so fulfilled, so without compromise, that you're willing to push the button and trust the universe knows what to do. Raymond Charles Barker also says, your life becomes the thing you have decided it shall be. Your life becomes the thing you have decided it shall be. Teddy Roosevelt said, in moments of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. The worst thing that you can do is no thing. How many of us do nothing because we're afraid we're going to do the wrong thing? Really? I mean, think about it. Decision making isn't really about logically looking at all the ifs and ands and buts. Decision making on a spiritually psychological plane of action, from the spiritual logic of thinking, decision making comes from going within and knowing, I know what to do here. And even if it shows up that what you decided didn't turn out the way you wanted, and here's what I know about my life is unfolding perfectly. And if I choose something and it ends up looking like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I know I should have done that because it's gotten me to here. Because my life is unfolding perfectly. So the real question is, do you live with spiritual logic? Or do you just live with normal logic? And that's a big part of decision making. So today's talk is called Get Off the Fence. Get off the fence. So I want to ask you, where are you sitting on that proverbial fence? Where in your life are you still sitting on the fence? Where are you still positioned in a neutral position of not taking action? So, and the other question is, why do we sit on the fence? Why do we sit on the fence? Well, what do you think the number one reason is? Fear. Fear. We're afraid if we get off the fence, it might not be where we want to be. And yet, we teach wherever I am, God is, because that's who I am. So why not get off the fence and find out where you are, and then decide where you want to go? Can't go anywhere on the fence. You kind of just have to stay on the fence. So this month, I have a task for you, and I ordered some more books this week. A number of years ago, there was an actor in my acting company who was really having challenges with his acting career. And really handsome young man in his 20s, and really talented. And I looked at him and I thought to myself, you are a star waiting to happen. What is the deal? And he came into my office. He did not go to my church. He didn't come here, but he was in the company. And he knew that I was a minister, and he knew that this church, he knew all about it, but he wasn't interested in church. So he came to my office and he wanted to talk to me about his career. But I'm a minister first, foremost, and always. I will always come from this point of view. So I said, all right, here's the deal. You don't want to come to church. You don't want to know about the power of your mind. You don't want to know about that you are God. I want you to take this book and read it. That's it. You just take this book and read it. It's called The Power of Decision. Just take the book, read it, come back to me and talk to me. So I didn't see him again. I'd see him in workshop occasionally. I didn't see him. And all of a sudden, he comes bursting into my office one day with the book, throws the book on my desk, and says, I just got a TV series. His first TV series, he's had like 3 or 4 now. He's like, I just got a TV series, and it's this book that got me that series. I said, well, you do know that this book is the philosophy I teach. He goes, I know. He said, and I'm thinking I'm not going to have time to come to church. And this guy right now is on a major television series, actually, and he was on a major one right before that. And what he told me was, he said, what I realized was I didn't decide to be successful. I never actually decided to be a successful actor. I thought I was one. I knew I was good. I never decided. He said, and do you know, the very next audition I had, I went in there and said, I'm just going to decide to be the best actor I am. They can take it or leave it. He said, and I went in, I auditioned, and I got the part. And he went, oh my God, this must work. And so he started living his life from that point. And he has just had this trajectory of success. Every single person that asks me, how would I get started in Science of Mind? I say, read The Power of Decision. It's about this. You read this, and I can now take you wherever you want to go from there. Read it and know it. So here's my suggestion to you this month. I know many of you have this book, and we ordered about 10 or 15 more just for those of you who don't. I would like you this whole month to take this book and every single morning get up and read a couple pages, so that by the end of the month, you will have finished reading this book. And then this month, I guarantee you, if you take 30 days and read pieces of this book every day, I defy you to have your life not change for the better. You good? Yes. So, most of us do need reminding. But what do we need reminding about? We actually need reminding that we can make a decision. You just need to be reminded you can make a decision. And you will always make the right decision. How does that sit? Does it feel right, or does it feel like, not sure, really, always? I'll always make the right decision? You will. Because a decision is better than no decision. And if you look at a decision or no decision, the right decision is a decision. Where it shows up in the land of how it plays out, not even as important as making the decision. There is something in us. There's something in you, there's something in me that is deciding at all times. There is a power inside of you, inside of me, that always knows. And I just have to know that there is that in me that always knows. Tony Robbins said, a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. So this month, as you go through this power of decision, I'm going to ask you to take a look at your life and see where you're taking steps. Where are you taking actions? If you say you want a healthier body, then you should be eating better. You should be going to the gym. You should be meditating. If you say you want better relationships, you should be taking action to focus on how do I show up as the relationship I want to be. If you say you want more money, then you better well look at your money and know what it is you have and know what's looking at the money itself. Not shy away from it or be afraid to look at what you really do have going on. That's taking action. This center is about taking action. I am not interested in being up here every Sunday and just giving you lovely things to think about. I want to talk about what are we going to do? How are we going to take action? That's why I went to Guatemala. I wanted to take action. I wanted to go somewhere and do something. And that was just the first step. So, decision. I loved Dana Beyer. I said the thing about Guatemala, and she said, I'm going. She didn't care who said, really? You think, really? She went. She made a decision, she went. Karen Needle went. Lynn Wasp went. Bob Morrissey went. All of us that went. Scott, Jose, Oscar. We said, yes, we went. So where's your Guatemala? Where's the thing that you're ready to say yes to? That then you know what you have to do? You got to buy the ticket to get there. You actually have to do the things necessary to actually go there. You can decide to be happy, one of the chapters in this book. You can decide to be successful. You can decide to be rich. And here's the thing. It's a decision to be happy. You have to have a decision. You have to decide to be happy. I came back from Guatemala, and I brought a little bit of Guatemala with me back in my stomach. And it's been here for a week, growing apparently, and just having a good old day. And I woke up on Tuesday not feeling well, and I said to myself, I get to decide how I will feel today. My body doesn't tell me. And do you know, my whole week then, I had some issues, but I was happy all week. I just kept being happy because I'm happy. Make me feel like a room with... Anyway, you know the song. So, you can decide to be happy. But think about this. What if you were only successful? What if you couldn't be successful unless you decided to be successful? And you knew you could decide to be successful. And you could come running over here and press the button, and then the universe made you successful. What if that's all it took? Would you decide to be successful? Yes. Oh my God, only those three? Yes. Wouldn't you all decide to be successful? Yes. If you knew you had a button to push, and you would literally turn into Ryan Gosling. Did you say yes, Arlen? Yes, that's good. Or, you know, there's a number of them I could choose. But whatever it is you want, what if you could push a button and you never had to think about money again for as long as you lived because you were that rich? Yes? Okay, it's really that simple. So in class on Wednesday night, I said we only teach two things. And we need to get with the program of living these two things, which is the divinity of mankind and the law of cause and effect, which is I am God, and therefore I get to do things and make my life happen. And I said, the divinity of, and somebody said, what was it? I said, the divinity of mankind. And then I heard from the back of the room, oh, that. Now, here's the thing about that. And I'm not calling that person out. I certainly won't tell you who it was. Most of you who are in the class know. But here's what I so respect and honor about that person. That's actually where most people sit and live. She just let it out. Oh, that again. Oh, that. Oh, yeah, I am God. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you really knew it, it would literally be the biggest thing in your life. And we have to start making it the biggest thing in life. It is a decision to step into I am God. Yes? Yes? And it is time to decide that. Because if I decide I am God, this part of the equation, now I can step over here with the law of cause and effect and make decisions. I am successful. I am happy. I am prosperous. I am blah, 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 whatever it is you want. That's how this works. But it takes making a decision. So, this year we started with I am awake, right? I have awakened to who I am. I've recognized that all things are possible. I've risen above the conditions of my life, and I have accepted clarity is mine. And now, with all of that pre-work, all of that pre-training, it is time to decide what I want to do with this thing I call life, my life. So my challenge to you this month is to spend this month really finding out what your mind is all about. Really coming to the final conclusion that you are a choice in every moment, that everything that shows up in your life is the result of your choices, and that you can decide to be whatever you want to be. It's all in your mind and your ability to think. And there's a button to push, and the universe will make it happen. Namaste.